Dear friends, this Shabbat is the portion of Yisro. Yisro is the portion which has in it the greatest event of Jewish history. When God gave us the Torah at Mount Sinai, when God appeared to all of the Jewish people at Mount Sinai, and He spoke to us the 10 Commandments. It wasn't just teaching us some laws, it was an experience where we felt the presence of God like none other. And the Torah describes a bit what was this presence that we felt. And we find alluded to several times the idea of fire. Bahar Sinai Oshan Kulai. It was full of smoke. Mount Sinai was full of smoke. Like smoke coming out of a kiln, like a fire that's burning and creates the smoke. And the Torah says all the Jewish people saw the voices of God and the fire, the lapidim. There was fire, there was light, there was noise associated with the giving of the Torah. Now, if God wanted the Jewish people to listen to the giving of the Torah, to hear the 10 Commandments, it should be silence. Not a word. Like in a classroom, not a pin drop. And God's voice is clear, distinct. But with all of the surrounding sound and noise and action going on, how did God expect the Jews to hear what God is saying? To pay attention to what God is saying? But yet the Torah tells us that it happened and it was associated with all of this noise and activity. Fire. And perhaps the reason is that God is trying to, when He gave us the Torah, to tell us what the effect of the Torah should be. If God just wanted to teach us the laws, He could have taught us the 10 Commandments like He taught the rest of the Torah through Moshe Rabbeinu, teaching us properly in a classroom setting where everyone listened, they had a chance to ask, and they heard it again and again and repetitive. But here, there was a one-time experience. God wanted to connect to humanity directly, not through His prophets, directly to humanity, to every one of the Jewish people. As we're told, every soul that will ever exist was standing at Mount Sinai in a physical or in a spiritual form. And God wanted to tell us what is so special about the Torah. Why did I wait 2,448 years since I created the world to give this Torah? Why didn't I rush and give it to people beforehand so they'll know what I want? And God said it's because the Torah is not just to tell people what I want or to tell us a constitution or laws. The whole purpose of the Torah is that the Torah has the power to create fire. The Torah has the power to create transformation. The Torah creates noise. If someone studies, like so many people do in libraries, in the hallways of universities, they study ideas, they study knowledge, but the knowledge remains compartmentalized in their brain where it makes no noise, where it doesn't transform or doesn't seek to transform. That is not what Torah really is all about. The word Torah itself means hora'ah, guidance and action. Torah has to be something that moves you. Torah has to be something that calls out to you. Torah has to be something that creates within you a light that you cannot ignore, that makes noise that everyone around you knows that you exist and something is happening. So when you commit yourself to Torah, even to one mitzvah of Torah, it creates a light, a reverberation that goes very, very far. That is what the Torah is all about. God gave us a transformative moment when we stood on Mount Sinai. Though we had the messengers of the Torah for 400 years before then, at Mount Sinai something was transformed within us because we felt how Torah became alive. It wasn't just God's wisdom, it became alive. And when it becomes alive, it's so real, it changes us automatically. That's how God wants us to live with the Torah. That's how He wants us to receive the Torah. And we're told that every day God calls out again. The echo of the sound of Mount Sinai is calling out every day to every one of us, and our soul hears it. So let's pay attention. And every moment we delve into Torah, whether it's an hour a week, a minute a day, whatever it is, let it be an experience like Mount Sinai, where it gets into us. It creates a noise. It's looking to transform, to uplift, to change, to redefine, and to get to the core. You know, when you dig deep in the ground, the further you dig, the more noise, the more activity has to happen. We're trying to dig deep into every one of our souls to make that happen. That's the Torah we received at Mount Sinai. That's the Torah we all have to connect to every single day. That's real. So I want to wish you success in connecting to Torah in that way, making it happen, approaching the Torah in that way. I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. On the Shabbat we receive the 10 Commandments. The Shabbat what we celebrate and welcome in and bless the new month of Adar, the month of joy and happiness into our lives, which we all need a lot more joy and happiness, especially during this difficult pandemic. May we all have a Shabbat Shalom. God bless you. We love you all. Shabbat candlelighting time in Montreal is 4:49 p.m. Be well.